right, so good day to everyone. Today we're going to discuss about the financial plan for the topic entrepreneurship. Our topic for today, or more of our values for today, is on Luke chapter 14, verse 25 to 30. The Bible verse that we have is that suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Okay. For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying this person began to build and was unable to finish, or wasn't able to finish. That is Luke 14, verse 25 to 30. So that is our values for today. This is actually from the Lord. When we do some things, we need to budget. We need to assure that we are able to complete whatever we start. For the lesson outline for today is we discuss about financial management, and then we move on to the financial statement, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. And by the end of this lesson, learners are expected to create basic income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, meaning you should be able to create a report for your business. So, now, when we start, to emphasize or to gravitate what, how, or why we discuss this thing is because money is the lifeblood of the business. And before we can create a profound business, we need to understand that we also need to understand how money is important in the business. And that is why money is a part of that. Okay. And how do we maintain a good rapport, or we can do that well? We use the financial management. We plan, organize, direct, and control financial activities. Yes, that's it. Planning, organizing, directing, controlling. And if you notice, right, when you do your business plan, usually it's about planning part. But in business, it's also about controlling. Why? Bakit? ¿Por qué? It's because we also implement. If you have, by the way, if you have any question, concern, please do chat, comment, or chat me directly if you want. And we have type of costs. Now we have variable, depends to sales or order, and fixed, independent to sales or order. So meaning, whether you have an order or not, it will depend on that. But in this fix, whether you have order or not, you have to pay that. So for example, we have utilities. Whether you are winning or losing in your game of the business, you have to pay that. What else? Let's clear that out. Electricity is another example. Water, salary expense of the worker, etc. Now, there are two types of salary. First, we have the variable salary expense. Actually, the best is labor expense. And then we have the fixed costs. Usually, we use the account title salary expense. Why? Bakit? No. Labor expense, paano ba? For example, we have a person, magawa ng candy. Okay? Ang bayad sa kanya is per balot. Pagka nabalot mo yung isang candy, babayaran kita ng piso. 1 peso. Okay? So magbabalot siya ng siguro 500 pieces of candy every day to 1,000 every day. So, pag walang order, wala siyang sahod. That's why labor expense are directly with the sales and order. Okay? But how about independent? For example, managers, or even janitors. Basta yan, maglilinis yan. No? Whether yung negosyo mo, kumikita, or wala, basta yan, maglilinis ng store, factory, whichever the janitor is designated. Okay. So, ganun siya. Okay. So, with that, since money is the lifeblood of the business. We don't want our business to be, oops, sorry, to have depleted with money. Ayaw mo yung, syempre, yung maubusan siya ng dugo. Diba? Sama yun. Same goes with business. Ayaw mo siya maubusan ng pera. So how do we do that? We usually do is family, friends, kakausapin, or for example, bank loans. Very obvious, but you need a big amount of money. You go to banks, grants, and investors also part of that. Of course, own money, medyo gets natin yan. Tsaka yung income of the owner. So for example, or income of the business. Income of the owner that is your income. Pinapasahuran mo yung sarili mo bukod pa sa income. Or your business, for example, kumikita siya ng pera. Income of the business, pwede mo mapasok ulit sa negosyo para lalaki siya or dadami. Whichever which. Oh. Now you maybe have a question, how come we use this income of employees? For example, let's use Starbucks, very popular case study. So si Starbucks, meron siya mga empleyado. Okay. Tapos sasabihin ni may-ari ng Starbucks, ito na sahod mo. No? Ito na sahod mo. Yehey. Tapos allocate niya yan. Gusto mo bang bumili ng stocks ng Starbucks? Sasabihin ng iba, yes. Sasabihin ng iba, hindi. Whatever that is, sabihin natin 50%, sabi niya, yes. Dahil yung nag-yes doon, no, ay, sige, bibili ako ng stock, pabalik niya yun sa business in the form of stocks. So stock market is an example. There are more ways, but that is a very famous case, Starbucks case study. Okay, so with that said, financial statement compared to your journal, your transaction, financial statement are written records that convey the business activities and financial performance of a company. So we have 3: income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. Itong balance sheet is also known as statement of financial position because you will know the standing. Kung nalulugi ba, madami bang utang yung negosyo, madami ba siyang cash, no? Taas ba yung cash ratio niya, etc. That's why it's called statement of financial position, because you can really see the financial position through the balance sheet. Income statement, however, as basically, as straightforward as it is, income, cash flow, cash. Okay, let's further discuss about income statement. But ayaw next slide. Ayun. All right, fantastic. So the income statement presents the result of the firm operation performance for a given time. So revenue, expense, sales, andyan yan. So this is the usual pro forma. Tawag dito ay pro forma. Pro forma. Meaning, ito yung usual format. Hindi pwede yung sales andito sa baba, tapos yung direct sales andito. Hindi siya pwede. Tapos yung business name, dapat nandiyan. Pwede malagyan ng logo if you want. Pwede may logo dito sa taas kung gusto mo. No? Logo dyan. Tapos address. Nothing wrong. But usually ito yung bare minimum, the skeletal. Lalo na when you're submitting in BAR, dapat yan lumitaw. Dapat ito. Pagka hindi yan, usually dinedecline, hindi tinatanggap. Sabihin ng officer of the day, sir, you need to reprint, dapat ganito yung format, etc. etc. So sales, direct expense, gross income, indirect expense, net income, tax paid, net income after tax. Another thing that you would notice before we proceed on the each details is that wala ditong utang. Lahat yan paid, no? Expense, paid, tax paid. Wala tayong payables dito sa income statement or receivables. Ba spelling ko? Receivables. Because lahat tong dalawang to, nandun yan, lahat ng accrued, nandun yan sa balance sheet. Okay. So with that, we can see that the sales, their expense, gross sales. I'm going to expand further yung sales. Tama ba? Bago tayo mag-proceed sa yes, this is an example. Actually, these are some of my students. Sipiling ko, income statement. For the year ended, yan talaga yung income statement nila nung business implementation sila. Actually, madami silang kinita, no? Madami silang kinita. Hindi sila nagbayad ng tax. This is just ano ba? Uh, a calculation. Pero hindi sila nagbayad tax kasi they're exempted. All students are exempted from paying taxes because this is just a project endeavor. Anyway, ano lang sila, nagsanggip lang sila. So, ngayon, nawala yung kanilang kinita. Pero okay lang, masaya naman sila. What's matters is the learning part. So, this is their income statement for the year ended December 31, 2019. Bago tayo mag-discuss about direct expense, expound natin tong sales. Okay. When we discuss about sales, para yan maintindihan, para income statement, sales. Saan natin makukuha yun? We can use the journal entry. We can use the reports. But the best way, without going through that, we can go to the demand statement. So ito, usually sa marketing department to kinukuha, hingin niya ng finance. Tatanungin niya, kano yung sales. How can they know? We can use through the orders and through the selling price. Selling price per piece. Total orders. So kung ang total orders for the month of January ay 100, bibenta tayo ng ano kayo bibenta natin? Ice candy. Ice candy. Benta 10 piso. Medyo sabihin natin medyo masarap talaga yung ice candy. Lahat na ng nandun, kaya 10 pesos, hindi siya piso. And the cost to produce per piece is sabihin natin 5 pesos. Kasama dyan yung tubig, etc. It's best to express this thing using, pindutin nyo tong comma style in accounting para kita natin yung nasa comma. Alright, fantastic. Let's now proceed. So sales, paano natin makuha yung sales? I-multiply. Total orders times the selling price. You can have the sales. Alright. Good. So that is the 1,000 for January. Kung, yan. Okay. So ganun siya. The total orders, actually mayroon pa yung iba pang equation. But for now, okay na yan. Direct expense is the next part. When we talk about direct expense are costs that has a direct relationship with the sales. Higher sales means higher direct expense and vice versa. Direct expenses are commonly referred as cost of goods sold or cost of service rendered by accountants. So, of course, we're going to use the much more popular cost of goods sold, COGS. COGS. And how can we know the COGS? We look at the demand statement and we look at the cost to produce. So, cost of goods. How many did we produce? Or total order. Ito yan. And is this correct? Not yet. Not that quite. We need to understand that we need to express it properly. There we have it. Okay na ba yan? Mayroon pa tayong kulang. Any expense, basta expense. Any expense should be, sabihin natin. An expense should be, with parentheses, should be expressed with parentheses. So they should be in negative sign. So yung selling price, dapat pala ito. Tama. Sorry. Ito. Yan. Ayan. Why is that? Because the money goes out. Kung basta yung pera sa negosyo, dapat siya negative. So direct expense can be raw materials, labor to produce goods, commission per piece sold, tax, percentage tax. That's another part of that. But we're not going to do that. Minsan yung VAT nandito. Kasama yan. But for simplicity's sake, we're not going to discuss all of the taxes. And others that has constant relationship with sales. So basta meron siyang effect dito sa sales, kailangan natin siyang i-consider. Next that we have is indirect expense. Sir, why is that we do not have gross income? Gross income is just the remainder. Nothing much. So ito, add mo lang to plus yung expense. Ayun yung tira. So we have that one. Mayroon pa tayo dyan. Dapat yung style. Nasaan na yun? Ayun. We need to add top orders. Do not forget to add borders. Dapat yan merong linya. So we have the single rule and the double rule. Double rule is for ending line or account. So yan, gross income, and then the next is indirect expense. When we talk about indirect expense, which indirect expense are those that are constant regardless of the value of sales. Indirect expense are best referred as operation expense by accountants, usually translated as OPEX, operation expense. Kaya minsan, di ba, capital expense, CAPEX. They consider the capital as expense na hindi na siya babalik talaga kaagad. But in our case, we do not have CAPEX or capital expense. We have operation expense. Why? Because in our example, itong case na to, we assume that the business is an ongoing. Hindi siya nag-umpisa from scratch. So gross income, we have the OPEX. Kung gusto nyo sulat lahat ng OPEX, pwede yan. Pero mag-indent tayo. So for example, rent, utilities, salary. Sige, okay natin. Ayan, okay lang. Okay na yan. Hindi na tayo muna mag-marketing. And once we do that, we usually do double column. So ito yung first, ito yung second column. Kasi kanina single column tayo. Ito magiging double column. Why? So for example, yung rent ay 50,000. Ano, hindi pwede. 50,000. Sige, 50,000 muna tayo. Negative 50,000. Why? Kasi expense siya. Utilities, 5,000. Salary, sabihin natin 3 tao. 20,000 isang buwan, 60,000. Okay. Now, the next is total OPEX. Tcharan. Indent mo ulit yan. And then we add the sum. So may mali ba dito? Well, again, aesthetically wrong. Ayan. Lugi ba? Lugi. Oh, yes, lugi siya. Pero later natin ayusin. So, lugi siya. Okay. So, lalagyan natin ulit ng double rule. Why? Meaning, ba't siya nagkaroon ng double rule? Meaning, itong tatlo mapunta dito. Tapos, 500 minus yan, itong expense. Kano kaya? So, syempre, lugi. Hindi ko pa compute lugi na. The next that we have is net income. Net income before taxes. Pwede din yan. Pwede nyo ding sulat, aside from net income before taxes, you can use EBIT or earnings before interest and taxes. Yung iba, EBITDA. Pagka EBITDA, before interest and taxes, depreciation, so sinasama nila yan. Depreciation and amortization. Wala naman tayong amortization dito sa negosyo to. So, hindi tayo mag-EBITDA. Hindi naman to big company. So, gagamitin lang natin ay EBIT lang. Wala naman tayong depreciation and amortization. Meron ba tayong interest? In our case, wala pa naman. So, huwag na din tayo mag-interest. Kaya ang gagamitin natin ay hindi EBIT. Ang gagamitin lang natin for simplicity's sake is income tax. Net income before taxes. Yan. So, syempre, lugi. Ito, plus yung expense. Ayan, lugi. Next that we have is tax paid. Tax paid, oh, binayaran. Wala ditong tax payable. Laging tax paid yan. Pag nakasulat dyan, tax payable, mali. Hindi yan tatanggapin ng BIR. Play nga natin. So, tax paid. So, what is our tax paid? Ano ba ang tax code natin? Okay, percentage tax. So, madami actually tax. Meron tax para sa COGS, which is usually VAT. Meron tax para sa OPEX, may tax para sa rent, may tax sa utilities, etc. Wala naman tax sa salaries expense so far as I know, etc. Meron din tax sa inheritance tax, owner's tax. But for now, ang gagamitin natin ay tax sa sales. Whether kumita ka o hindi, magbayad ka ng percentage tax. Yun ang tawag nila, percentage tax. So 3% daw nito. 3%. Kasi yan, percentage tax, non-VAT. So kung non-VAT ka, wala kang tax dito. Hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung VAT as deductibles. Anyway. So yung sales na to, pag nag-file ka sa 1701 sa BIR, pwede yan 3%. So subukan natin. 0.03. Ay, mali. 0.03. So 30 pesos lang naman. Buti na lang. Actually, maliit lang ang 3%. Kaya yan actually. So ang susunod ay net income after tax. Yan. So actually madaming taxes sa Pilipinas. Meron para sa sales, gross income, business permits. Yan. Business permits is a fixed tax. Hindi ka makakalusot dyan. Kundi illegal seller ka. Alright. So declare only all tax that has been paid. All tax still due or tax payable should not be reflected. Again, lahat ng payables tsaka receivables wala sa income statement. Akit nga natin to. Oops. Okay. So we have that one. Yan yung performa natin. Tapos na. In this case, may mali dito. Actually, hindi siya mali. More on lugi siya. Kasi pag ito in-add mo, plus yung tax na binayaran, lugin-lugi na siya. Is that possible? Kaya niya bang bayaran? Sa cash flow natin malalaman or sa balance sheet natin malalaman if there's still remaining cash for the business. In this case, no, pasok tayo sa tinatawag nating, bago tayo sumunod sa balance sheet cash flow, let's go to tinatawag nating analysis power. Analysis. Ano mali dito? If you want to analyze, kindly pause the video. And then let's count for 5. Tapos bibigay ko yung sagot. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ang tamang sagot ay mali dito ay maliit. Maliit yung kanyang sales or the demand. The demand is very small. So, even 100 lang bumili ng ice candy. Pero mayroon kang 3 tao, mayroon kang renta, ganyan. So, may mali. The sales should be increased. So, kailangan to mag-increase by at least 100,000. Kulang pa rin, no? Pero at least, siguro yung presyo maliit. 20. Ayan. O, dun tayo kumita. Actually, maliit to. Para sa isang buwan. Dapat to sa 30,000. Ayan. Pwede natin balik sa 10 pesos. Ngayon, paano natin nagawa yan? Mayroon ka isa pang idadagdag dito. The finance department usually don't like that because the finance department, but wag ka nang gumastos. But the marketing department or advertising expense usually is the key para magkaroon ng sales. Diba? Ito, saan ko ito nakuha? Marketing department. So, dadagdag tayo ng siguro 20,000. Budget natin is 20,000 for that. Nakit natin to, hindi siya nag-update. Nakita ko. Alright, fantastic. There we have it. So, at least positive na siya. Normal ba yan? Yes, this is normal. So, itong 30,000 mahina yan. As you can see. Mahina yung income kasi mahina yung orders. Dapat yan 300. Yan. Yan ang totoong negosyo. Okay? Anyway, let's proceed. So, ang susunod na tatalakayin natin ay cash flow. Sir, why not balance sheet? Because balance sheet is for ABM. Since you are HA or probably Humes, MAD, or PES, or STEM, we're not going to discuss about balance sheet. Kasi sa balance sheet, para mo magawa yan, kailangan mo ng journal entries or record ng journal tsaka ledger. Dahil di naman kayo nag-aral ng accounting, hindi mo masasagot yan. So, skip tayo dyan. Kailangan ng income statement tsaka cash flow. Okay. And usually even the pag nag-file ng pangalan to? Taxes sa BIR, we can opt for OSD. Kalimutan ko yung OSD. Standard deduction. Kalimutan ko yung letter O. But OSD meaning, hindi ka na masyadong magko-compute yan. Magkakain ka lang ng fix para hindi ka na din kukuha na accountant. OSD is suggested for small business. Pagka malaki na yung business, madaming transaction, dahil ka kumuha ng accountant. Okay, let's proceed. So, cash flow. So, tayo bago. Cash flow statement. So, when we talk about cash flow, it is the, nasa na yan? Nakatingin ako sa colors. Ayan. Declares the net amount of cash and cash equivalents being transferred into and out of business. Kulayan lang natin to. Ayan. Ang dinimendo natin ay ice candy. Okay. Ice candy ang ating negosyo. So, for simplicity's sake, we're not going to use the standardized cash flow. We're just going to use the simplified version. We have the cash beginning. We have the cash in or cash inflow. Pwede din yan. Cash inflow, cash outflow, and then cash end. So, let's have an example. So, cash beginning, these are the cash that was previously incurred by the business. So, kung kunwari meron ka ng capital na 50,000, so bago pa mag-umpisa yung buwan, meron ka ng 50,000. Ba't ka nilagay dito? Kasi in January nandito. Ayan, pwede ko nilagay ito dito, tapos lalagyan ko na lang na malabong text. Ayan. Pwede naman din yan. Although, BIR will not accept that. Gusto niya double entry. Kaya ang gagawin natin ay hide na lang. Ba't ko hinahide? Kasi may gagawin tayo dito sa cash flow. Para hindi tayo malito. Okay. Next is cash inflow. So, cash inflow, yan yung mga pumasok. So, ano ba yung mga cash inflow natin? Ito lang ang pumasok na pera. Tama? So, pwede tayong investment, royalties, ayan. Loans accrued, umutang ka ba? Kung umutang ka, pwede mo yung lagay. We can actually add this one. Cash inflow. Tapos sales, tsaka loans. Accrued meanings ikaw ay nakakuha or acquire. Acquired loans. Or cash from loans. Pwede din yan. So, in VAR is not, pero for simplicity's sake in this discussion, at least maintindihan nyo. So, total cash inflow natin ay so kung meron tayong 50, tama, sales is 3,000. Good. Tapos, siguro umutang ng 100,000. So, the total is 400,000. Ayan. So, ito magiging total cash inflow kasi hindi lang cash nandyan. So, dahil mayroon tayong total cash inflow, syempre magkakaroon tayo ng cash outflow din. So, mayroon tayong, ano ba yung mga expenses natin? Ayan, cash outflow. Meron ba tayong salary expense? Meron. Meron tayong cost of goods tsaka total operation expense. So, kunin mo yan, cost of goods, total operation expense, tsaka tax paid. Meron pa tayong binili bukod dito. So, inventories, pwede din yan pasok dito. Anyway, for simplicity's sake, again, total cash outflow. Tapos indent natin yan. Tsaka to. So, cost of goods, akit ka ulit. We have that. Total expense or OPEX. Tax paid. And then there we have it. You sum it up, you total. And there we have it. So, ayan, lalagay mo yan dito. So, magiging ito ay total cash outflow. So, by the end of the month or by the end of January, so, pwede mo yan palabuin konti. So, ito yung nangyari sa January. Meron kang 50. Tapos, that's you should probably capital. So, nagbilang ka, tapos nakita mo, ay, meron pa pala akong pera. Cash beginning. Tapos, total sales. Tapos, umutang ka din. So, nag-earn ka ng 400. Tapos, nagbayad ka ng mga kung ano-ano. So, by the end of the month, you will have cash end. Saan na yan? Ayun. Alright. So, sum mo ulit yan. So, ibig sabihin, pag nagbilang ka ng pera, either from bank, from your cash on hand, sa kamay mo, cash on your wallet, cash on your vault, whatever that is, pag tinotal mo lahat yan, dapat yan ay 100,000, and 56,000. So, yun siya. That's why is the cash balance for a given period of time. Cash beginning minus in, plus in minus out is equals to cash end. Okay. Ayan, pagkagawa tayo ng January, second month. February. Ay, ano na lang natin. Matalino naman yung Excel. Ayan. Dinadrag ko lang. So, yung cash beginning, pagdating ng February, magbibilang ka ulit ng pera. Makikita mo, meron kang 156,000. Ang galing. Bakit? Kasi yun yung cash end of January 30. January 31. Yeah. Ang atang pagkakasulit ito. So pa. January 31. Meron kang 156,000. Siyempre, pagdating ng February 1, hindi naman siya naggalaw. Wala naman tayong January 32. Diba? Wala naman January 32. Kaya pagdating ng February 1, parehas sila. That's why the cash ending is the same as the cash beginning of the next month. No. So, ayan. Basta tuloy mo na yan. So, kung may sales ba sa February, so far, syempre, wala tayo na record. Supposedly, kung meron, ayan. So, copy natin. So, wala. Sabihin natin, hindi ganun kaganda yung for the month of February, actually, ice candy, no? Pwede. Hindi. Pwedeng hindi masyadong bumili na tsokolate. So, sa 25,000 lang yung orders natin. So, magbabago yan. Let's double click this one para lumitaw. Ayan. Bakit mas mura? Kasi wala tayong expense. Pero syempre, expense parehas. Hindi naman siya nagbabago eh. Kasi advertising, ganun pa din. Renta mo, hindi mo nagbabago yun dahil lang next month. Libas na natin. Unhide. Ayan. This time, di na kayo malilito. Right. Ayan. So, syempre, next month, tatlo pa din yung tao mo. At tigyo 20,000 kada isang buwan. Utilities, it's still the same. Probably, magbabago lang mga 5 centimos, ganyan. Mga 20 pesos, di mo magbabago ang kuryente. Still, the output is the same. Rent. Hindi mo magbabago ang rent. That's why it is also considered as fixed costs. So, kumita ka ba? This time, hindi. This time, hindi. Di ka kumita. Pero, meron kang pera. Kung sama natin to, total cash inflow ay, hindi ka umutang. Hindi ka umutang ngayon. You have 250,000 from cash inflow. Cash outflow, magkano yung ginastos mo? So, as you can see, mas malaki. Pero dahil you have a large reserve of money, pag tinotal mo yan, meron ka pa din matitira. Although hindi maganda. Although maybe baka February is not your month. Kaya din ganun. Baka siguro sa March. Bakit? Kasi mainit na. Mainit na sa March. Ganun din sa April tsaka May. Baka doon ka babawi. That's why if you notice, may ibang negosyo, may ibang negosyante, kahit palugi, malaban. Kasi alam nila, makakabawi sila sa buwan nila. Alam nila kung kailan sila malakas, alam nila kailan sila mahina. At syempre, inaantay nila yon. Probably ito, papalo siya ng, yan. Tapos to, siguro yan. Kasi mainit na. Summer, tas ice candy binibenta natin. So, ganun siya. So, with that, meron na kagad tayong 4 na buwan. And in your business plan, you are to create 6 months. Recitation, ayan. So, yun na yun. So, we're not going to discuss balance sheet. That's that for today. If you have any question, concern, please do chat me up. If you can chat me directly. Ciao, ito to Peroji. That's it for today.